When you find a real estate platform that aligns everyone in the entire company financially by making us real estate agents owners, so when the average agent wins, everyone wins, that's the secret to success. And when you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurial people who absolutely love what they do, they love serving people, they love God and life, and you put yourself in an environment of high energy, high producing, positive people every day, you can't help but succeed in business and life. We are changing the real estate industry and changing real estate agents' lives. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. I'm super excited today to be introducing my friend and partner, DJ Fairley from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How you doing today, DJ?
Pretty good. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So, DJ's been in the finance and real estate industry for about 15 years and former college football player and proud father of his son, Maverick, right? DJ and his business partner, Matt Durbin, they got together while at Gannon University playing football. And today they're business partners, thriving, and they're thriving real estate team. They just in the last 4 years, we're doing about 25 transactions. And in the last 4 years, they've done 217 transactions and 52 million here recently. So that's a big deal, DJ, and we're looking forward to unpack that a little bit and tell us a little bit more about yourself and your business, and we'll unpack what you've been doing.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks again. So like you said, so Matt and I originally had kind of a mortgage brokerage business in South Florida before the 2008 crash that we're all aware of, and taught us a lot, humbled us a lot, kind of, looked back and made sure we wouldn't make some of the same mistakes twice. So Matt had actually stayed in full-time in real estate. I kind of was still dabbling in that, and then did some tech sales. Kind of burnout hit me a bit. And then 4 years ago, Matt had already moved back from Florida to Pittsburgh, and he said, "Hey, I think we should give this another go on the real estate side full time." And that's kind of where it all began. So as I set sail from Florida back to Pittsburgh, Matt was doing well, doing about 25, give or take, transactions a year. And I remember the very first day he said, "You should start cold call." And I was like, "Call who? Do what?" So I was always pretty comfortable on the phone and kind of, direct sales and whatnot. And he introduced me to expired and for sale by owner cold calling. So, I would say, I still remember the first kind of month I was terrible at it. I was fumbling over my words. I sounded like a robot. I was reading. Right. And then it kind of just, became something I knew that we had to kind of figure out. And I had to figure out. And then, one appointment, 2 appointments, and then kind of from there, the rest was history. So.
That's awesome. So, and I want to make sure I'm correct. So you guys did 217 transactions just this past year. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's you and Matt. And what does your team look like right now?
So we actually are kind of in a restructuring, but right now last year we had about 15. Now we have about 6 on a team. But fortunately, again, I couldn't be more grateful for the business model that we all get to enjoy at EXP, because we've kept everyone. It's just more of a restructuring as far as partner versus direct team. Okay. And it's even led us to now, pretty excited about this kind of moving forward. The whole evolution would be more brand new agent, let's say how to get to 10 to 15 transactions, then how to double your business, and then lastly to grow a team. So now even in our recruiting for our team, we're along that model. And the agents seem to love it because, most of us want to strive to get to that point. It's like we always talk about, nobody wants to be on a transaction treadmill your entire life. There's no end in sight then, right? So, yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, for sale by owners and expired is what you guys really built your business on, right? So tell us a little bit more about what exactly that you're doing to do over 200 transactions this past year.
Yeah. So again, I'm blessed to have a lot of great mentors and coaches. So at first it was really just, fail fast and learn quickly. And I was literally listening to every YouTube video I could. I'm memorizing these scripts. And finally, I just learned from other greats that it's really right words, right order. And, what you say really matters. And then, that's kind of when things clicked. And then, at the same token, I say being able to set the appointment, step one. How good your listing presentation is the second step. And we've all been through it, NAEA with their certified buyer and seller courses. That was the proven repeatable system that not only allowed me to have greater success, but it was then the foundation for all of our training for all of our agents. And, now too, I get great pleasure out of seeing them succeed following that. But it truly was a game changer for us, so.
So the NAEA, the National Association of Expert Advisors, and that's how we got together. I think I first saw you at an NAEA event, wasn't it? Was it Key West, wasn't it?
It's exactly right. That's how. Yeah. And actually, I give you credit. Your persistence. You were calling me and finally said, "Hey, I think this is something you should take a deeper look at." And being down there, they say events kind of speed things up or change mindset. That event kind of nailed it for us. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, were you part of NAEA before partnering up with us at EXP, or?
So I had done quite a few courses with Jay and Michael in the past, and then Matt, he loves to consume content. We were watching older NAEA YouTube stuff. I mean, like crazy. That was a lot of the stuff. I still remember Jay's listing presentation. He looks like he's 20 in that video now, right? So just consuming all of that content, and that's the cool thing is you don't realize even stuff from 10 years ago is still so relative today. And then of course we got more involved in some of the other like the Double Your Business and some of the other events that they were holding, and then kind of from there it kind of quickly evolved into, hey, there's an opportunity at this company called EXP, and then kind of from there that's when the rocket ship kind of started taking off more. So
yeah, let's unpack that just a little bit more. So having access to the NAEA and going through a lot of the coaching and training, and of course, when you partner up with us at EXP, we're not paying for that anymore, right? It's all part of being in partnerships with everybody. So that's a big deal. You're saving tens of thousands of dollars there. But getting access to the coaches and to the training, how's that really affected your business? And specifically with this call, we want to talk about for sale by owners and expires and how you built your business. Share a little bit a little of that with us.
Absolutely. So I just turned 42 this past Saturday. I've never been in any organization company that truly the culture and collaboration are now to me the number one thing. And I feel like it's just very special. It's very rare, right? So with that being said, being able to tap into some of the brightest minds in the country and having them be so open has just been a game changer. So our direct kind of mentor coaches being, John, Jay, Al, Michael, when they say that we're always looking to have the most value, they are so sincere about that. And being here 2+ years, it's constant, right? I mean, with Coach Burt, like they're just always they're pouring into us to make us just, better agents and better people. And then also when you talked about, other access, just a small glimpse back to what you said about expireds and FSBOs, it's allowed me to meet people such as Tina Call that's built a business on a lot of outbound prospecting.
Right.
And then through Tina, Jackie Kravitz, who I've done some training with. So that also, I would have never probably picked up the phone. Had we not been in this family, in this situation, I don't think I would have probably reached out as carefree or confidently, maybe is the best way to say it. So just all of it together, not only has helped us get to where we are, but I know is going to get us to the next level where we want to hit 400, 500, and just to continue to grow our team.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, I just want to reach out to Johnny and Mary and Bill who are on the Zoom today. And hey, any of you guys that have any questions for DJ, just put them in the chat and we'll ask them. But thanks for joining us today. And let's walk us through your normal day. I mean, you're basically cold calling, in the very beginning, and that's tough, right? I know that's how I built my business in the very beginning. Started in the A's and in the phone directory way back in the day, and that's how a lot of us started building our business. But how is that relevant today? And just walk us through what your normal day looks like with your calls, time blocking, whatever it is that we can really give some value to the people listening today that need to and looking to go from 25 transactions, in the next few years to 200 like you guys are doing?
Absolutely. So it starts with, John has mentioned this to us many times, right? Don't have a lot of white space on your calendar. So I used to think that a flexible calendar was freedom, and learned that's the opposite, right? A strict, consistent day is what gets you to freedom, right? So we always say, even right now, it's kind of timely you asked that question. We are in a very difficult market in the aspect of all of our buyers agents. They're busier than they've ever been, but listings are gold. It's harder to get listings just because of the sheer amount of, there's a lot less expireds. And in this market, if you're expiring, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And usually it's price. So it's like there's just less of them. There's the for sale by owners are more confident than ever that, hey, I don't need an agent. It's going to sell on its own in a couple of days. So, we always talked about going back to basics, right? So that for me, even now, I still do call quite a bit, because I always feel like if I'm going to keep training my team, I want to be involved too. Like I want to be in the trenches doing the work. So in my humble opinion, that the ideal day starts at 8 a.m. Well, actually, let me take a step back. Starts with me, it's waking up earlier, a meditation, a prayer, a workout, getting your mind in the right. That is a critical piece, and that's something I didn't feel was important as I was younger. But again, everyone else doing it, they can't all be wrong, right? So they're all doing something right. So start your day in the right way. Then the work day at 8 a.m., you're hitting that first phone call, right? So for me, it was kind of get the hardest thing out of the way first, which was A211 prospect. And when you do that, again, you fall in love with the process, not the outcome. So when then by 11 o'clock, you've accomplished quite a bit because you've done dollar producing activities. It's easy for us to get busy, right? And suffocate our deals and think we had a long work day. But when you really ask yourself and look in the mirror, what did I do to move my business forward or move the needle income wise? And you really realize that when you're running a team. When you're a solo agent, it's just you. When you're responsible for a lot of other people and salaries and all the bills, you quickly know you have to do that. So my opinion, if you just do those simple items right there, just how you start your day, don't check email first thing, start in a positive mindset, do anything. It doesn't have to be a hard workout. It could be walking, right? And then into the harder part of the work. Then the rest of your day, because in real estate, it shifts, right? What we think might be one way can change. And then you have that a little more flexibility and not have that overwhelming stress then. So
I want to point out, you said your first call is 8 a.m. and you're going hard to 11. So you have 3 hours of prospecting 5 days a week?
Yes. Yeah. So actually, typically it's going to be Tuesday through Thursday, and then sprinkled in with an evening session, and then even Saturday, like a 9 to 11. I still love that little time slot. Monday, I typically now reserve we have a lot of meetings, a lot of Zooms, and then also kind of follow up on all of our listings, clients, etc. But those other days, yeah, it's just come in, hit the phone. And that's what we kind of, again, in practice, what we preach. The younger agents, when they see me call, and they're more apt to call, and there's no greater feeling to see their confidence kind of skyrocket once they get their, first for sale by owner or first expired. Like, and Jay always says that, right? Those victories, those early victories are what kind of builds you forward. So yeah, it's more
awesome. With how tight the market is right now and what you just said for sale by owners, I mean, they figure, hey, they're a little tougher, they're more confident. Hey, the house is going to sell in 2-3 days without you. What are you saying? Do you have any great scripts that you can share of what you're saying over the phone to get that appointment when you get that for sale by owner? That hey, he's a for sale by owner for a reason, right? Most of the time they feel that they're going to save that commission. What can you share some gold there with our listeners of what you're doing?
Sure. So you kind of nailed it, right? When you think of a for sale by owner, the main reason they want to do that typically is to save the most money, right? They feel they don't need to pay a commission, right? But we all know that all agents are certainly not created equal. So a couple of foundational things, beginning of the call or throughout, always mirror and match. And this was told to me many, many years ago. It's so true. Always agree. I see a lot of agents fail on these because they disagree,
Right.
or they'll make the for sale by owner, feel wrong. Well, why would you do that? You should work with an agent. Nobody wants to be told they're wrong. Right?
Right.
When they say, and typically in that part of the call, so for me, it's the open is always, hey, I'm just calling about the property for sale, right? Who are you? DJ, local agent. First name, local agent. Keep it conversational. Find out a little bit about the house that's not on Zillow. There's always something, the roof, the furnace, etc. Hey, when this property sells, Andre, for you, where do you plan on moving next? Find out a little bit about motivation, timing, and then typically I say, if I had a buyer, I'm not promising I do right now. I just saw the house, seconds ago. Would you be paying a buyer's agency commission? Usually, then they're like, yeah, we've talked about 2%, 3%. Okay, so if there was a way we could partner together, and I could net more money in your pocket by doing that for you and your family, that's something you'd at least be open-minded to hearing more about, right? And that's the question right there. The way it's worded is simply,
Exactly.
if I can, would you? Right. And usually then there's that little button that clicks. I wonder if I could get more money working with this guy. Right.
Right.
So from there, if a lot of times they will say yes. And then right there, that's great. I'd love to show you how. We have a proven repeatable system. And I'm only going to ask you for 15, 20 minutes. Does tomorrow at 3 or Friday at 4:30 work better? Just ask for 2 options. And usually from there, then you got the appointment. And then I might go into, set the appointment first. Then there might be a few more clarification questions for the listing appointment. But then from there, same thing in the listing appointment. How we're trained is it's not throwing up and saying, there's the price, here's that. You're talking together, and it's the seller deciding, looking at data with me, where we're going to end up, right? So that kind of flow, that's the key to be able to continue to keep doing it with success.
Yeah, that's great. Some really golden nuggets here. So hopefully people will probably be playing this back and writing that down, because that was really key, right? And then you said it, and then it was at the end it was, well, wouldn't you? That's something you look at, wouldn't you? Right? And you're already in that positive mindset and going down that direction. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. So with the market currently in for sale by owners, how is there certain systems that you're using to find more for sale by owners? Where are you locating them all?
Yeah, so we still use Vulcan 7 is our primary software. That or RedX, I feel they're both great softwares, but that allows us to get the data easily. And then for anyone new, I would say Vulcan 7 is enough, because it has a dialer built in as well. We then use Mojo because it allows me to 2-line or 3-line dial if I'm doing older expireds where I want to get through a lot of calls more quickly. So from efficiency perspective,
right.
But just with that one piece of software, you have the data, and B, like the ROI is tremendous. I mean, it's not a big cost, but it's really just more time, right? And in this day and age, it's always time or money, right? And the leads the way they are, at least for us in our market in Pittsburgh, we were spending pretty heavily on Zillow Realtor as well for buyers. And that when that model shifted, now when I say listings more than ever gold, is we're generating some of our best buyer leads from our listings. So right. In my opinion, being heavy in listings, we're also doing or about to do some pretty intense direct mail. With that, all I would say is be ready to do it for minimum 12 months, right? Because a lot of times the failure is after month 3, 4, 5, it's like, well, this isn't working, right? Like, why am I still paying? It's that long term, and also going back to your database. We're still doing handwritten notes, whether it's a simple handwritten note, a dollar scratch off. John just talked about it this weekend. We were at Coach Burt in Cleveland. He just said, like, any type of video stands out. Anytime I've ever gotten any video from somebody, or even audible text, what can you do to differentiate, right? Money moving to difference. So just being consistent, whatever path you go down, the consistency and the compound effect is what's going to get you there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's where a lot of people fall off. They do something for a few weeks or a few months and they're just not consistent. But if there's people like yourself and a lot of us out there that are being very successful, selling a lot of properties, it's all about consistency. Right. I 100% agree. besides for sale by owners and expires, are there other things that you guys are focusing on that have been helpful to you to grow your business?
Yeah, so from a team aspect, I guess kind of to dovetail on there, we never more or less set out to grow a team. I having a young son now, that happened pretty quickly after I was just back in Pittsburgh, and then Matt, him and his wife were soon to have their little boy next, right? So the team really came out of necessity, and meaning that we just made a pact and said what's most important is we're dads first, right? And we can't let this business consume us, which it can easily do.
Right.
When you're young and hungry, you could easily work 7 days a week, and then it's almost impossible to maintain that. So we started with one agent, and then two, and then three, and then that allowed us to have kind of our weekends back, and then it allowed more nights to be freed up. And then from there, we just always, especially being football players, like I've always been a big fan of it. You always succeed more in a team. So that's another thing I would tell any new agent. Being on a team or with a team is going to be critical to your success. I couldn't imagine being a brand new agent right now and starting just by myself, right? Because most brokerages, you don't have what we have, fortunately, just the close collaboration and culture.
Right.
I find it's more competitive, not collaborative.
Yeah, right.
So with that being said, when you couple that with being on the right team and having good leaders, you're just going to get to success much faster, quantumly faster. I mean, being brand new, it's, like I said, if we can get a new agent to say 10 to 15 deals first year, then year two is doubling. It's pretty good. And then by year three, it's like we should have trained well enough to be on that path to grow your own team.
Start your own team, yeah.
That's what excites me now, is to be able to see that evolution for all of our new agents coming through. So
that's beautiful. One of the beautiful things with our business model as well is, as when people, I know when I was in New York building my team, you get agents that are new. You get them up to selling 3, 4, 5 homes a month. It might take 3, 4, 5 years to get to that point, and then they're ready to start their own team, and they leave and start their own team, and now you're their competition, right? But that's one of the best things with our business model is when they're ready to move and they outgrow you, which you want. You don't really lose them, because you're still business partners. You're still connected, and you still help them in any way possible to help them grow. And it's pretty cool when you can start seeing them, like you say, out the nest, and now they're growing you. And then you get occasionally you get a handful that outgrow you. I mean, outdo your business and do even more than yourself.
No, you nailed it. And that's what, going back to, again, I say we're also fortunate to have these leaders, is when they say we're going to keep pouring value, Matt and I were always like that. So that was the other thing that when we heard that, it was already how we felt, our culture. And that's why with these agents now, as you said, as they kind of graduate, they're staying in our ecosystem and with us, because we still do provide, in addition to what we all receive at our brokerage and with kind of Honey Badger Nation, we're still providing weekly trainings, weekly role play, coaching for them too. So like we just always want to be that team that we had so much value, like there would be never a reason to go anywhere else. So
that's awesome. Anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap up here in a minute with what you're doing with your business, or anything that you'd like to share that would be beneficial to our listeners? And again, if anyone has any quick questions for DJ, please put them in the comments, and we'll answer them. And thanks everyone again for jumping on. I see Rick and Kathy's been watching as well. So thanks for joining us. What other couple things do you want to finish up with, DJ?
I think just repeating some of the things, consistency, right? Motivation's temporary. The persistence and doing the hard things every day you don't want to do is going to be critical to your success. Who you surround yourself with or around is everything. So whether it's, where we're fortunate with our whole brokerage and kind of the whole ecosystem, but also just your direct team leaders is huge. And, just always being coachable and even me now, like every day I try to get better. I know there's never going to be a time I'm not learning or trying to learn more or get better. So just be hyper consistent, be coachable, and have a good mindset. right? There's going to be tough days. There's tough days in business and life and personal. We just got to kind of expect that's just a part of all of our lives and just keep rolling forward.
Yep, and I always believe no matter what level that you're at, if you're a newer agent doing less than 10 deals or you're doing 20 or 50 deals, you could have a team and like DJ doing 200 or 400 deals. There's always another level.
Yeah.
There's always another level, and it's pretty cool when you can surround yourself with people like yourself and people that are doing – I like to hang around people doing 10, 20 times more than me and you put together because they just pull you up, right?
You're very right. Totally right.
If you could go back and tell yourself, your younger self, something in time that you would, would be beneficial, what would that be? If you could tell yourself something, 5 years ago that now that you didn't know then, what would that be?
For me, honestly, it would have been hiring a coach quicker, having a mentor quicker. Matt and I were always more of that mindset of, we're just going to grind our way there, which worked, but it's, we could have got there way more quick, a lot faster with less stress and probably a few less gray hairs in the beard if I would have found that right person more quick. It's just, that's something I think, especially us being younger, like, no, we can do this, we can figure it out. But if somebody's already figured it out and they're willing to share that with you, again, you can go to where you need to go way faster. So that would be my one piece of advice for anyone younger.
Yeah, that's great advice, DJ. I mean, it took me 7 years to go from 0 to 40 units, working all by myself with no help. Got coaching and training, and that next year went from 40 to 79 units with just me and a brand new buyer agent that never sold a thing.
That's awesome.
And then 109 units the next year with an admin. Now, my coach told me to get doing 40 units at the time, I should have got an admin and the buyer agent.
Right.
And being a young, hey, like you said, we can do this ourselves, being kind of cheap, thinking, hey, if I get the buyer agent, it's not going to cost me anything, but I'll still leverage the time. Right. But I still can continue to do the $10 an hour, $15 an hour work. When I got the administrator person, we went to that next level. So I could have went from 40 to 109 units probably in 1 year.
Right.
But why listen to your coach just because you're paying them a lot of money, right? So yeah, there's anyone listening from two guys with some gray in their beards and their hair, get on a coach and a mentor as quickly as you can, and you can double and triple your business. And and we spent tens of thousands of dollars with those, with those coaches, and nowadays there's so much online and just this podcast is free for people to listen to and take down some golden nuggets, right? And I know with our team, I know with your team, we're doing coaching and training for people on an ongoing basis, and we have access to the mentors above us, and we're giving all our coaching and training at no cost. So right. It's definitely available out there. People just got to go and look for it.
That's right.
Hey, DJ, now you're in Pittsburgh. You're looking to grow your team. Your phone number has been on the screen there. Is that the best place for someone to reach out to you if they're looking to, join a team or want to talk to you about, joining you guys and what you're doing there to grow their business?
Absolutely. And we are aggressively hiring again and always kind of looking to, help others and grow. So yeah, that is definitely, you can reach me on that, call or text.
All right, fantastic. I'll always like to close our podcast and ask you, if you're a movie watcher, what's the best movie that you love to watch? Or if you're a reader, what's your number one book that you'd recommend to people?
Book, Compound Effect is still one of my favorites. That's right. I've reread that one quite a few times. I think that one's awesome. Movies, man, I'm over the map. I love comedies. There hasn't been any really great comedy, I feel like, in a long time. I'm trying to think. It's one of my favorites. Wedding Crashers is a good one. I'm a big Vince Vaughn fan. Anything Vince Vaughn, he makes me laugh. So.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks, DJ, for joining us on the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. It was a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you at one of our next live events. I know we're going to be going to see our coach, right, Michael Burt. Yep. In Florida next week. So looking forward to it and bringing our businesses to the next level.
Me as well. Thank you so much.
Have a good day, DJ. We'll see you.
You too.